7th grade, this is 7.3 video on solving two-step inequalities. Now remember, solving an inequality is just like solving an equation. You follow the same exact steps. You want to isolate the variable on one side and your numbers on the other. The only thing that is different about solving an inequality is when you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the direction of the sign so that the inequality stays true. Okay, remember that. Now here, if you have a less than or greater than symbol, remember when you graph that inequality, you're going to have an open circle on that number. And if you have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to inequality, you will have a closed circle on that number. Now also, the inequality tells you the direction of the arrow. If you have a less than or equal to inequality, you're going to have an arrow that points to the left. Right, so whether it's an open circle or a closed circle, then you will shade to the left, right? Because that's the direction the inequality points to. If you have a greater than or equal to inequality, then you will put either an open circle or a closed circle, whatever is needed, and then you will shade to the right, right? Because we can make an arrow pointing to the right. Okay, keep that in mind for the direction of your arrow. I'll do two examples in this video from 7.3 worksheet number 3. The first one is problem number 8. And here is our inequality. We have 6 less than or equal to negative 2 plus a over 4. Okay, since my variable is on the right side, I'm going to get everything else on the left side. So I've got to move this negative 2 over here. To move it, I got to add 2 to both sides. Okay, when I do that, those 2's cancel, and you have 8, inequality stays the same, less than or equal to a over 4. Alright, now to solve for a, I got to multiply both sides by 4, multiply this side and that side by 4 to allow those 4's to simplify. So you have 4 times 8, which is 32, less than or equal to a. Right, now I'm going to write the variable first. So a, I'm going to put first, and then keep in mind the inequality less than or equal to, we can view that as like an alligator mouth. The alligator mouth is eating the a right now, and so if I switch and put the variable first, the inequality should still eat that a. So it should look like this, right? The alligator mouth is still eating the a. And then I put the number on the other side. Okay, so these two are exactly the same. I'm just switching it up and putting the variable first so that it's a little bit easier to read. So I have a greater than or equal to 32. Okay, now if I'm going to graph this on the line, since this is a greater than or equal to inequality, my circle should be closed on 32, should be closed right there. And then remember, the inequality tells me the direction of the arrows. So this is an arrow that's pointing to the right. So I should shade all values to the right of 32. Okay? So if a is greater than or equal to 32, to satisfy this inequality, the variable can be 32 or anything greater than 32. Okay? Last example is number 10 on 7.3 worksheet 3. Number 10 looks like this. I have 5 minus 6d less than negative 61. So since my variable is on the left, I'm going to move everything else to the right. So let's move that 5 over here. To move the 5, I got to subtract 5 from both sides. Those 5's would cancel because 5 minus 5 is 0. On the left side, you got negative 6d. Inequality stays the same. And here you have negative 61 minus 5. These have same sign. So same signs I'm going to add and keep the sign, right? Negative 61 minus 5 is negative 66. Now to solve for d, right now I have negative 6 times d, so to solve for d I got to divide both sides by 6. Now whenever I divide both sides by a negative number, there should be some flashing lights going on in my head saying, oh no, I gotta change the sign, I gotta change the direction of this inequality. Okay, so these negative 6's simplify and you're left with d. This changes, right? Not less than anymore. Since I divided by a negative, it's going to become a greater than. And then here you have negative 66 divided by negative 6. That is 11, right? So you have d greater than 11. So let's graph this on the number line. Since I just have a greater than inequality, this is going to be an open circle on 11. So I put an open circle on 11. And again, this inequality tells me the direction I should go. The direction I should go is right. I want all values greater than 11. right? So what this inequality says is that all values greater than 11, it can't be 11, it needs to be greater than 11 to satisfy this inequality.